crafty friends. Hi, Catherine and Sharma. Hi, Betty McSorley. Who else was up there, honey? I guess that is it for now. We'll have some others joining us shortly here, I think. I was just sitting here playing with some of these little roses, these little rosebuds. I thought you guys might appreciate having the opportunity to see how these make up and how we do it. Because, hi, Kim. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. I thought we might take just a second while we're kind of waiting for people to come in and show you how to do these little flowers, because they really are pretty fun to do. I sat down last night just to teach myself to do it because I thought I'd do it with my local craft class. And then I ended up doing like 6 sheets of them because they're really fun to do. Each sheet makes up a dozen little roses. Go ahead and go in my hands now if you would, honey. They come in this package. These are these ones. The pink, this happens to be the pink, yellow, white. We have another set that's, I think, yellows. We have another set that's pinks, maybe all pinks. I don't know. We have several different sets of these. And I just want to show you, come in closer and let's see these little flowers. And this is what you get. You're okay, Catherine. Let me tell you what happened. We took all the Craftaganza bundles down temporarily. We still have some. We took them down temporarily because when the distributor sent us our kits, they sent them all bundled up as if they were ready to ship, and we shipped them all over the country. And then we found out that we need to back up now. The kits were not complete. They're completely missing one of the topper sets. So we will have them again here as soon as we get the missing topper set. Okay, to do these, you take this little disc out of the paper. They just punch right out. See? They just push right out of the paper. They're already die cut. You separate the layers, just going around and gently separate the layers on them. You do have to be a little bit careful doing this part because the paper is colored on both sides, but it is white in the center. So you can end up having white spots in your roses if the paper tears a little bit away, while you're doing that. Then you just take your quilling tool and you wrap it. And I'm not being particularly careful about where the rolls are going or how they're going on. I'm not trying to form anything. I'm just wrapping it around. And to do that, I found the easiest way is to just hold the little ring as it goes in. I'm not wrapping it too tight. If I wrap it too tight, I will end up with a little compressed flower that won't open right. And when I get to the end of my swirl, like I am right here, come in just a little bit so they can see this. When I get to the end of my swirl, I'll have this little tab on the end. So I just kind of put that around there. I'm not worried about where it goes specifically right now. I'm going to pull this off the tool. And then I'm going to just kind of press my flower back together. See, that's before it's ever glued. And I will have a little dot on the end here. See this little, I've got this little piece at the very end. I'm going to put a fair amount of glue on there because I actually kind of want that glue to squish up through the layers. This is what it looks like from the bottom. See if we can hold that up. This is kind of what it looks like through the bottom. You see all those layers inside. So I'm going to take this tab, I'm going to push it back over, and then I'm going to hold it in place for a minute to get that glue to bond with the different layers of the flower. And I'm just going to hold it between my two fingers for a minute. And then once it's grabbed well, there's my adorable little rose. Let's do one more for those of you who came in while we were doing that. It really is quite easy to do them, and they turn out so pretty. Hi, Glenn and Annette. Good to see you guys. Hi, Betty G. I was thought I'd just take a minute here before class started. I actually think these would be beautiful, these little tiny roses. I want you to see the size of them. They're little tiny roses, which would be fairly easy, I think, to work into card designs. And I had an idea for a jewelry design using these little roses. So I thought maybe we'd try that. You come right to the end. Now, because you're tearing this last piece of paper is kind of bonded to the sheet, I like to put it on my quilling tool down here a little ways in and then slide up to the end. I've tried it coming towards me and I've tried it going away from me. I actually think that it's easier to do if you are winding away from you. It might be different for you. You could probably try multiple ways. Here we go. We're right at the end of that little strip. This is a little one. I'm going to pull it off my tool, and I neglected to say last time that I actually let it open up then. Let the little rose open up, and then I'm going to take that little tab on the bottom. There it is again. There's that little tab on the bottom. Is Thelma in now? I didn't see Thelma come in, but hello, Thelma, if you're there. Hello, Laura. I'm going to put a good amount of glue right on the end there. I'm going to press that glue up against the bottom of my flower where all those layers were showing. I'm going to hold it between my thumb and forefinger for a minute and let it just really bond into that glue. So you can see these are actually quite easy to do, but they turn out so, so pretty. And this is what it looks like when it's done. Isn't that pretty? So I'm going to keep these out and kind of off to the side here for a minute. I'm going to recap my glue bottle. It's being kind of messy. Recap that. Wow, I have glue everywhere. Let's clean up a little too. Little baby wipe out here. Clean up my fingers so I don't have glue all over my quilling strips. And clean up my mess where my little glue bottle is just dripping. It kind of went everywhere in a short period of time there. Okay, so that's how we make the little tiny quilling flowers. And you can see in this baggie the different sizes. There are 3 sizes of those roses. There's a larger one, a medium, and then the little tiny petite roses like we just did. You get a lot of them in a pack. I think you get 12 to a sheet, and you get 10 sheets in a pack, so you get 10 dozen roses in a package. Let's talk about what we're going to do today. If you don't have one and you want to make quilt jewelry, I strongly recommend this tool right here. These come in a pack of 3. It's $5.99, which is very reasonably priced. You can make squares of different sizes. You can make triangles of different sizes. And you can make circles of different sizes. So we're going to start out using the circle tool today. And I'm going to make this pair of earrings right here. To start with, I'm going to start by making up these little, come in closer please, making up these little tight coils. And I'm going to need a total of 10, 5 for each earring. So let's start with that. I have my gold gilded strips here. And I have some gilded silver strips here. And you see the gilded, what that means is that they're shiny on the edge. And I actually have some new ones to show you today that just came in. In fact, I thought I might try making an earring with one and see what I think of the colors. We'll see how much time we have. We might get to that. I'm going to break these longer gilded strips into 2 pieces. And I believe I used half a strip for these. If they start getting too big, I'll know I actually used a 1/4 strip, but I think I used half strips. I'm going to start it on my quilling tool, and I'm just going to start winding. And as I wind this, I hope you can see this in the camera light. As I wind this, and I'm winding this fairly, yeah, a half strip's going to work out just right, I think. I'm actually winding this fairly tight. Hopefully not so tight I can't get it off my tool. I don't worry too much about whether everything is staying in perfect layers until I pull it off. Then I can just kind of squeeze it into shape. I'm going to get my glue bottle and I'm going to glue this little tab right at the end. And here is our first little gold coil. Isn't that beautiful how it just shows the gilding only? I think that's beautiful. It looks black from the side, but those are a little bigger than I used. Maybe I should go to a 1/4. I think maybe we'll go to a 1/4 strip or a half strip because these are smaller than I'm using. Let's go to a 1/3. Let's go to a 1/3 of a strip. And again, a couple of these off. I think the half strips are just a little big. Let's see. I have a ruler that I moved over there. I need to, I was flipping the light switch with this on that thing right behind you. Hand me that wooden ruler that's sticking up, please. Just need to know what a 1/3 is. There's 12 inches. And roughly 5 more. So I need about 5-inch strips. Let me come out here, tear these at 5. 5. And 5. Okay, Okay.
Showing off his rocks. Hi, Mary Gelson.
Hello, Mary. Good to see you.
Mary R's here.
Hello, Mary R. If I missed anybody, hello to you too. Okay, let's wind these up again. Looks like we're going to use 5-inch strips for these guys. Thank you, Catherine. I like this shirt too. Had it for a long time, and I've enjoyed it so much I actually bought another one that was identical to it, exactly the same. Because I didn't want this one to wear out and not have one. Okay, that's a better size. Let's hold these up to our little jewelry pieces. And that's the right size. 5-inch strips. So now we know that. So we can do 5-inch strips. We need 10 of them. And I love the way these quilling strips just really show the gold edge. It's beautiful. I have that too, Mary. I think I told you in that sweater, I wear a sweater that's got a little, it's all one piece, but it looks like it has a vest over the top of it, or it looks like a 2-piece sweater set. Lauren bought those for me for Christmas, and she was so confident that I was going to love them that she bought me every color they had on their after Christmas sale. And I'm still wearing all of them. Thank you, Catherine. I am now at 40, what did I tell you, Bryce? 42 pounds. I'm at 42 pounds lost now. Got a long ways to go, but it's working. It's working. I told you my goal is 75 by the end of the year, which looks absolutely doable. And then after I hit 75, we'll go for 100. I'm telling you, that Weight Watchers program is really the ticket for Bryce and I. Bryce was saying we've never done anything that we both found as easy as this one is. So, needed to lose the weight anyway, but to face major surgery without getting the weight loss off, is actually dangerous for somebody my size. So, I'm looking forward to getting the weight off too, because Bryce and I had big retirement plans for what we were going to do when we got older, and right now I'm not in physical condition to handle like a trip to Italy and all the necessary walking. But if I can take off a lot of weight, then all those things become infinitely more doable. So I'm excited that it's coming off and staying off so nicely. Okay, gotta get these where you guys can see what I'm doing, and I'm not just. Let's see. Okay, Simply Special banner's kind of in my way. Can it be smaller?
Well, the challenge is that you work on the table and then you raise your hand up, and then they can't see you. So I can drop the camera down a little bit.
Okay.
But you're going to have to keep your hands down on the table.
Oh, I'm not going to retire for a good long while, but because I'm older than Bryce, and Bryce isn't retirement age yet. So retirement for me may just be a modification of what I do now. I'm never going to be somebody who can sit around and not have
crossword puzzles.
Yeah, I'm not going to be somebody who can just work the crossword puzzles and read a book. That just will not work for me. I have to be doing things. So I think you can rest assured that even when we do start traveling and things, it'll just be a modification of what we do now. Thank you, Betty McSorley. Bryce is on plan 2, and between the two of us, we are now at 60, let's see, 24, 60, or yeah, 66 pounds off. 66 pounds. So we are doing it. Thank you, Catherine. Yeah, like I said, retirement's just a modification. As long as Bryce is working hard, I have to work hard too. But when he can retire, we'll probably just modify plans. Okay, got 6 of them. These border buddies are just cool. They really are. And paper jewelry is so lightweight that you can actually layer things in fun ways, and it doesn't add any weight. Sweetie is a great word in the US. It means the same thing, I'm sure. Okay, we got 7. We need one more 5-inch strip here. I'll just tear one of these to be even. Okay. So as you're watching what we're doing now, you guys are already picturing how we're going to use this border buddy to get those other shapes there, aren't you? Because you're smart. Waiting for the 100% sale. Oh, good try. Very good try. Glenn signed off his last email to me. Glenn, the cantankerous crafter. I love that. I thought that was pretty good. That gave me a chuckle. All right, we got 8 done. We just need 2 more. These little beads are so pretty that we're making. Unfortunately, I wish the camera, in this case, came out and down a little bit. I know that's not really a reasonable expectation, Bryce, but it you'd see the shine on these maybe a little bit more. Yeah, coming in helps too. It does. Thank you. You can really see the shine from above these. Yeah, the way you guys are going, a little over a year from now, I'll be having to pay you to take products. Between the 75% off sale and the 100% off sale. If I hit 110 pounds, I'm in trouble. I'll have to retire. I won't be able to cover my debts. Okay, I got all of my little beads done. No, I don't. I got one more here. Alrighty. And you can see, guys, as I'm winding those, that I'm not paying a lot of attention to whether it's staying absolutely straight. I just take it off and press it together when I take it off, and they line right up. Now I don't, oops, that one came undone, and therefore came unglued, and therefore came lost being tight. Depending on how tight or loose these are, they will influence the look of our finished earrings a little bit. So I want them fairly close, but I'm not going to panic if they're a tiny bit different for our demonstration, because it is what it is. I most certainly do have a great cameraman and life partner. That is so very true, Catherine. Okay, let's get our border buddy out. I'm going to get a piece of silver edge. I'm going to need 2 of these to make my pair of earrings. Now, I made a presumption, maybe an inaccurate one, that most of you would have jewelry pliers and little findings already. If I'm mistaken about that and you guys need me to put some up, I can. There actually are jewelry pliers in the store. This one, I'm going to take this strip and I'm going to figure out which size I want to make things. I'm going to wrap this around. I'm going to start here with the second one because I believe that's what I used, but I'm not certain. I'm going to put a little dab of glue on it so I can see what that circle looks like. Oops, well, I would if I could hang on to it.
When will the new mailing list go out?
Tomorrow. I told people changes had to be in by today because I'm mailing out the new list tomorrow. So you will get your new Christmas card exchange list. Those of you who have opted to be on it, you'll get it tomorrow.
Sharma says she's lost 35 pounds.
Woohoo! Well, as long as you're losing it in healthy ways, Charm, I don't want you to be sick to lose weight. I mean, if you can get a head start that way, that's okay. As long as if you're sick and you can get a little head start, that's all right. Okay, this is the size that's going to work out to be. Let's hold that up to my.
Where do they make changes?
You send it to me. You send it to me, Glenn. So if you have a new address or you want to add your email address, you want to add a birthday, you send them to me. So once I have my basic circle started, I can either continue using the border buddy and just wrapping it around, but I have to admit, each time I've done this, I found that once I have a nice basic shape to work on, I've just taken it off and wrapped it by hand. So I'm just wrapping my piece together just using my fingers once you get your basic shape size.
I'm curious if you were to actually use the handle part, which is round, if that would allow you to twirl it easy too.
Maybe, but the handle doesn't stay on real well. So I think this is going to be just ever so slightly larger than the last one that I did, which is fine. I think my little gold pieces are slightly larger too. So once I have defined my size and wrapped my pieces around. I'm going to do a second one for my other pair. Or, yeah, because I have 2 earrings to do. Try putting the glue on first this time, so when a strip goes over the top, maybe it can help me hold it in place. The first couple times around is a little more challenging. Once I get this around here just a few times, I can wrap this by hand. And I'm going to start right now, wrapping it by hand. Now, on this pair of earrings working on right now, I could have used any number of things instead of the border buddy on this. I could have used the handle off this. I could have used the barrel of a little bit bigger pen. I could do all kinds of things. But when I want to use large, and you could do it, you could even do it for some of the larger shapes. Just look around your house and say, what do I have that's roughly a 1/2 inch around, 3/4 of an inch around? And you could wrap around bottles and different things. Your Stickles bottle, if you want that size. But it is, I just have to say, for $5.99, it's really nice to have all of these sizes available in this border buddy. So just wrapping this on around with my fingers. So I'll have 2 of these. Look how shiny this ends up being. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, we haven't seen Elsie in a couple weeks, have we? Okay. That on, and now we've got our 2 rings. I'm going to make another one the same size. In fact, I'm going to make 4 more the same size in silver. And then I'm going to squeeze them into teardrops. And even though they have all these layers, they are still moldable. That 2 or 1? Feels like it could be 2. It's just 1. That worked pretty well, putting the glue on the end. So I'm going to do that again. Wrap that around. Get me a nice tight starting point. My dexterity. I don't know. I don't consider myself to be particularly dexterous, but you say so. I want to remind you guys that this pattern, this design, which is probably copyrighted, came from this book. We have this book in the store. I absolutely love this book, The Art of Quilling Paper Jewelry, and it's by Anne Martin. And I love this book. I want to do every pattern in this book. Every single pattern. We have that book in the store. I think I have 1 used copy, and I have a couple of new copies I was able to find. It's a good one. And if you look at the jewelry we're doing today and you look at that book, you'll see the patterns are directly from her book. So I want to properly credit the artist and the book and encourage you guys, if you love what we're doing today, to pick up the book because it's good. I know several of you have already because we've sold quite a few copies of the book since I started talking about this class and about doing paper jewelry. Some of our other books also have beautiful, beautiful paper jewelry designs. So I finished my circle. I squeezed it lightly on the end, and now I have a beautiful teardrop shape. So I'm going to do another one. So did I tell you guys about Bob's birthday and his mining? I think maybe I talked about it briefly on Thursday, but for any of you who weren't here, I want to tell you about his birthday. So we got that, and chime in, honey, if you want to on this story, because you were sitting there when he was doing his mining project. So I think I told you before, I got this mining kit, which was a box of pay dirt, or yeah, it was a little half-gallon bucket of pay dirt from an actual, I think I said it was from a sapphire mine. It actually, as it turns out, it was from a gold mine. And they say that there's a good chance you could get a little, some little gold flakes or get a little nugget in your pay dirt. We didn't see any, but again, we didn't pan our dirt, so there may have been some there. But we got out a strainer from the kitchen, and we got a bowl of water, and we poured the pay dirt, which was really kind of more like sand, but we poured the sandy substance with all the rocks in it into the strainer. And then we would shake the strainer a little bit. We're working on the out on the deck, and we had a folding table out there. So we would shake the strainer a little bit and expose the rocks. Then Bob would take the rock out and he would wash it and look it all over. And then he was organizing all his rocks on his side of the table by the kind of rock it was. And each time we washed off one of the rocks, he was very interested in what he was going to get. And he organized all his rocks. Okay, I've got my circle, so I'm going to pinch it lightly on one end to get that beautiful teardrop shape. It's still easy to bend these even though it's a lot of paper layers. So as we worked our way through there, as we went, just about every rock ended up having a story, didn't it, honey?
Pretty much.
And on some of them, he'd say, "Oh, this is pretty, but wouldn't that be beautiful if it was polished up?" And he found he really liked the crystals that were in there. There were some geode pieces that had some little amethyst crystals in them. And he was totally intrigued as we went through his kit. Well, what am I doing? I'm doing it wrong. I was putting it on my coiler, on my quilling tool instead of the right tool here. He really got animated when he found an arrowhead, and then he found another arrowhead. There were some shark's teeth, and there were some little fossilized shells. And the further we went, the more excited he got. And he really, really enjoyed as it got to a point where every rock had a story, and he was completely in the zone. He was organizing all his rocks on his side of the table by both style and size, what they were, and then organizing them by size on his side of the table. He was very into just looking at them and picking up and examining the different pieces. And it was great fun to watch him. When we got all done, Bob is not somebody who will be super excited, exuberant about things. It's just not his style. But when we got done, he said, and I quote, "That was kind of fun," which was the closest you'll ever get to a full throated endorsement from Bob of anything. Is that true, honey?
Probably.
It's just the closest you're ever going to hear Bob go to saying, "I just had a blast." I was so excited with his reaction that when we got done, there's our next coil. I'm going to squeeze this off in a point and add it to my others down here. I want the amount of the point to be just about the same with all three. And when we were done, I went in and ordered 2 more mining kits. One that's for sapphire, from a sapphire mine, and it's got other rocks in it too. And one that's from, well, actually, the sapphire mine one, it's all rough dirt from the sapphire mine. It doesn't have added rocks, but it's guaranteed to be little sapphires in it. So I got that one. And I got one from an emerald mine that is salted with other things. And I know he's just going to have a blast with that too. And then I ordered, after listening to him talk about how pretty it would be to polish up the different rocks, I bought him a National Geographic rock polisher too. So we can start a batch of rocks to start polishing. And he was very, very excited. So that was great fun. And if you're looking for something either for a kid or for an older person who just loves that kind of adventure but doesn't have the physical stamina to go out and go to the gold mine, it was really a really wonderful, good night, Mary G. Really a wonderful gift for him, and it wasn't expensive, and it was easy. But the next one I got, it should be just a little bit more challenging, because I thought maybe he would enjoy that, although he seemed to enjoy what we were doing just fine too. So I don't know, I'll have to see whether more challenging is a good thing or not a good thing. But boy, did he have fun. So I just thought I'd share that with you. It was a really successful gift. I'm going to point these just a little bit more. I've got them all about the same, but I want them to be a little bit more of a point. Okay, this is all the pieces that it takes to build our pretty earrings. So let's get going here. I might find that I want my pin board. Let's see how this goes. I'm going to take one of my silvers here. I'm going to put a fairly good amount of glue at the end, and I'm going to put my circle right up against it. I'm going to get one of my other points. And I'm going to put a fairly good amount of glue at the end of that. And put that right up against my circle on the other end. Make sure I got them pretty straight. That looks good. I'll add my little gold pieces. I don't want a piece of gold at the top because I have to have a place for my earring to go. So I'm going to put this little one I just did right at the bottom here. I think I just lost most of my glue, so I'm going to put a little bit more glue on there. It was almost a job for tweezers. Big fingers. I'm going to slide that little gold dot in there. Come in just a little bit closer on this part of the operation, honey, please. I'm going to get that glob of glue off the end of my glue. I'm going to put a little bit of glue right up in this area on both sides and add my little gold dot. It came off on my finger. Stay there. Oops, upside down. Stay there. Get another one of my little tight coils. Straighten this out a little bit again, because when I was gluing it, I kind of bent it just a bit, and I want it straightened out. Did it upside down again? Put my little tight coil in there. There we go. All right, I'm going to set this aside and let it dry. Isn't that pretty? So simple, huh? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's get our other one quickly put together here. Put a little glue on one end, put a little glue on the other end. Get our...
Do they have to dry before you can attach the findings?
Yes. We should let them dry pretty well before you attach the findings, because you know you got to get those little jump rings wrapped in there and one thing and another. And in fact, it's actually somewhat beneficial just to let that sit for just a minute, even after you just put those pieces together, because you know, while they're still wet, they want to slide around a bit, but we can make it work. I tried to put glue on the jewelry. I got most of it on the table.
Annette just joined us.
Hi, Annette.
Brother came for her birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday, happy birthday. And all that glue on my project. Gonna put some glue in here. Trying to do this without lifting this if I can, just so we can move this along and get started on our other piece.
Slide a little bit to the...
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
That's kind of funny. When I slid it, it just grabbed one of the beads. Maybe that was the magic solution here, was just to slide it around and let it pick the beads up itself.
Hi, Adeline.
Hey, Adeline. We're making paper jewelry, and it's beautiful. Now, there are our finished pieces. We'll put our jewelry findings on this end. Okay, so let's set those aside to dry. And then we'll put the findings on them after a while. Let's do, okay, let's just jump right into it and do this one. Now we have this bead I made earlier that was too big for that one, but look, it's going to be the perfect size to be the center of this one. So we'll use that bead. That was the one that was a half strip. This was a half strip. And I bet you guys know what we're going to do already. We are going to come over here and we are going to, let's see, I'm trying to remember how I did this. I did full strips, half strips, and quarter strips to make this. And then I do admit I put a couple little crystally pretties at the edge of my necklace because I thought that would be beautiful. Now, let's go ahead. Let me make sure I have enough gold here. I may switch colors if necessary. Do I have enough gold to get it done? I think I do. I think I have enough gold, so we'll go ahead. Yeah.
If you had a red, that might be a nice Christmas one.
Yeah. I want to show you what Bryce is talking about with the new strips that just came in. This is gold on forest green. My glue is just Cosmic Shimmer glue. I use Cosmic Shimmer for everything. So this is gold gilded on forest green strips. This is silver on forest green strips. Then this is something brand new. This is gilded in green. Look at this. Gilded in green on green strips. Gilded in gold on yellow strips. This is gilded in black. I don't know if you can catch, there we go. Gilded in black on black strips. Hello, Roberta. Gilded in pink on pink strips. Gilded in blue, look at that. Gilded in blue on blue strips. One side shiny, one's not. Gilded in purple on purple strips. And oops, I have one more. Gilded in red. Just look at those. Gilded in red on red strips. And gilded in orange. Can you see that? Gilded in orange on orange strips. Say hello to Paula, who just came in. Oh, don't shush me. Paula just came in. She's just been in the house admiring all the beautiful cards you guys sent to Bob for his birthday.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Okay, we're going to make a couple of big strips here. So I'm going to pull off about, it looks like I used 6. I think I used 6 pieces to make the larger strips here. So let's go with those. And actually, I think I made these in, I'm going to try full strips, 3/4 strips, and half strips. That's what I'm going to do, because I actually think that's what I used. Catherine in France says hi. Okay. Now with this strip here, I'm going to try this at the largest size. And try this at the largest size. And let's see what we end up with by doing that. It might be too large. I'm just going to put a little spot of glue here. I can break the glue and do it again if necessary. But let's start with the big one and just see how large that's going to be. It may be too big, but we'll find out. We'll find out. So just like I did before, I'm going to wrap this by hand because I find it easier once I get my size to just wrap it by hand. And I think that's going to be too big. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to break that. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to go up. Let's go up. It was quite a bit too big. I'm going to go up to the third one up and let's see what happens if I work this from the third one. Now these are not numbered. I wish they were numbered on this Border Buddy. That would be my only criticism of this really neat tool would be it would be fun if they had numbers like a diameter or just even step numbers on here. I might end up taking a permanent marker and doing that myself because when you're doing several pieces at a time, it would be really useful to know exactly what the number was. You know, you could actually document your recipe, so to speak, and keep a pattern. So when you want to do it again, you know, I've always said I was going to start taking pictures of everything and keeping the pictures. I never have done that, but it really would be fun now if I had a craft journal of all the things I'd made over the last couple years. Wouldn't that be fun? Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should make a craft journal. What do you guys think about that? Should we make up a journal that we can start documenting our card designs and our fun projects and just show all the things we're working on? What do you guys think of that idea? I think that's going to be about the right size. I think that would be fun. And in this day of digital photos, it would not be so cumbersome to get pictures of everything. You know, you can take your pictures and send them off electronically to get your photos. And when I bent this strip, it's separating, my center loop is separating just a little, and I found that to be true with some of my other ones when I did it. So see, I've got that one little strip hanging down. I just put some glue under it and I'm going to slide that back in place. I'm not sure it wouldn't be a good idea. That's actually bigger than it should be, isn't it? That's bigger still than it should be. I'm going to hold that one off. I'm going to do it again and we're going to move up even higher. You'd think I would have. Yeah, maybe we should do that. Okay, we did on 3 last time. We're still considerably too big. I'm going to do this one on 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go up to, is it 4 or maybe even a little bit further? Maybe I'll go up to 5. I'm going to go up to 5. I'll use that other strip for something. Okay. And just because I am having a little problem with separation there, I'm going to put a little glue, just a little, right around this strip to kind of encourage that to stay put. And pull this off and wind it by hand.
Did you say hi to this person? Oops. I don't know how.
Oh, this is going to be just the right size. So I'm going to have to slide it back on though to remember which one I went with. I don't know. Yeah, I can say hello, PHOEBY. Phoebe.
Always. Chandra is making Hanukkah cards.
Okay. Beautiful. Okay. This is going to be much better. There we go. There's my size. And even this one's just a tad big. But I got to remember which spoke we use. So let's get down here. It's this one.
Elsie's on.
Hi, Elsie. Good to see you, friend. We were just talking about the fact that we had missed you lately. Good to see you. Okay. Gonna make another one. I think we're up here. Wrap around. I'm gonna try and do this one faster. Let's see. Because I'm aware that there's a lot of just watching me do repeated things in this project. But I do have a thought about something. So once we get the hang of what we're doing here, so we get a few pieces we can glue together and say, and so on and so on, we might have to try something new. Because I've been thinking about those little paper roses. Now, I've read about how can you preserve your work, and most of the books that I've looked at say that the charm of paper jewelry is that it is paper and that it's temporary and that you create something beautiful that's not expected to last forever but will last a surprising amount of time. And so they say most of the artists that I have read say they do not cover it with preservatives, but I have also read that, I'll see you later, Thelma. I have also read that there are people who use Mod Podge and some other things on their jewelry to try and prolong the life. So I think that opinions vary, and I think you should do what you want to do. In Quilt Creations, they often build their jewelry within a jewelry frame. They use those metal frames, and then they use crystal lacquer, and they put it down to hold their pieces in. Will I show you Bob's cards? Yes. If Bryce wants to go get them, we can show you Bob's cards. It's 3:05, so we got plenty of time left. I do want to show you or do some of the jewelry findings, although maybe we don't need to do that. If you have the tools, you probably know how to put the jewelry findings on. So maybe that's not the best use of time. I'm going 5 pieces up, 5 steps up my border buddy. These could, if you chose to do them that way, these could be done with double strips if you wanted the pieces to be thicker. I kind of like the fact that it's just can't glue it with that. I kind of like the current weight of this, but if you wanted to make them thicker, you could by simply joining 2 pieces of paper before you do this. I'll put the first 6 pieces on and then see how I actually joined these 2 that were done with 3/4 of a strip. I joined these 2 together and then slid those in and glued those together. So see, it's not glued right into the base. It's these 2 are glued together. And then I have a little triad here. See where I've glued these 2 together and glued them in, and then I put the last one in. Okay, let's look at the cards that you guys have sent. Okay, that's not a handmade card, that's from family. This one, beautiful, was made by Alice. You'll have to probably back up a little bit. Oh, there you go, perfect. This was made by Alice. Love this, by the way, Alice. It's beautiful. Your crafty friend Alice. And then Alice has this neat little stamp on the back. Alice's art made from the heart. We need to put a bulletin board up or something in your dad's room and post all his cards on it. I think he would like that. This is actually from our cousin Karen Plumley. Karen is Bob's niece. And she actually watches, as I understand from Paula, she actually watches our shows, just hasn't signed in to say hi. So Karen, here's your beautiful card. This came loose in the mail, but I believe it went here. So sign in sometime and say hi. To Uncle Bob on his 90th from Karen. But wouldn't that be good? We should do that. We should get him a bulletin board. This one's from Laura Hernandez. Laura knew he'd love that dog. A little tag says another year older and wiser. Look at Laura's beautiful work with the border stickers here. Gorgeous. Oh, he always loves cards with animals. And this is from Glenn. Now, where's the other? Oh, here it is. This fell off in the mail, but I know what it does. I want to be able to show you. Do I have a? I don't think I have a round foam here, but this is so cute. He made a sun that slides. We'll fix this before we put it up on his bulletin board, Glenn. This the sun just came off in the mail, but I explained to him what it did. Look at that. Glenn's craftsmanship is beautiful. Really nicely done. So it's a penny slider. I love that with the little sandbirds. So cute. Here is a card from Mary Peskowitz. I love this one too. Bob also loves the ocean. He has lived on the ocean a very large part of his life, whether that was in Alaska or whether that was in Oregon or California. He's lived on the coast a large part of his life, so he loves coastal things too. And their crafty friend from Western New York, Mary P. And here's one from Elsie. Oh, he loved this. The Springer Spaniel, isn't that cute? Oh my gosh, so cute. And then Elsie wrote him a nice little note inside. And she put a little handmade with love on the back. And from Alice, it seems like there are more, but these are the ones that I have right here. So if your card wasn't here, please don't be offended. You know how that goes, that they get set in different stacks. But isn't that beautiful? That's gorgeous. Gorgeous. And this is from Adeline. Really beautiful. So those are the ones I have in my stack right here. Okay, back to this. So are you guys okay if we take off and do something a little bit different? We can go ahead and finish these. You guys tell me what you want to do. How do you want to use your time? Do you want to keep working on this and actually finish this necklace? Because we can. It won't take all that long. Or we can you say, well, from here you do more of the same. And we can play with something else. What's your pleasure, guys? You tell me. Until I hear what you have to say, I'm going to keep building strips. But if you guys want to do something different, so you're not just watching me continue to do the same thing, which I'm fine doing. I love doing it, actually. I love the way these little gold edge strips turn into this beautiful, luscious gold color. It will take a fair number of these strips to do your necklace like this and the earrings, because I'll bring back in one of the earrings in a second so that you can see that pattern again. But it does take, please check your email, I sent you one. Something different, Biddy McSorley says. Okay, any other votes? If any of you have noticed that your Craftaganza kits are missing a luxury topper set, please check your email because I sent you an email saying, hey, guess what we noticed? All the Craftaganza sets that were banded together were missing one of the luxury sets. So, oh, please update my zip code on the Christmas card list. I will do it, Roberta. What did I have in mind? Sharma says. Well, I think we should make a disc backing and we should create an earring using a pretty disc in the back and putting little roses on them. So for those of you who your kits had not been sent yet, I notified you that we're holding it for a few days to see if we can get those kits in real quick. The distributors on the East Coast, and they got away before we realized, and I emailed them. I called them too, but everybody was gone. So hopefully on Monday we will get in touch and we can tell them that we need those like post haste. I've already told them that in email, but we'll get those here. And everybody who has already purchased Craftaganza will get their topper set by separate mail very soon. Because we're going to keep them coming. Any other votes on projects? I've got one vote to do something different. Sharma says, what'd you have in mind? You're like me, Sharma. Give me all the facts before you ask me to vote. This will give me the last of my strips of this size. So I'll go ahead and put these on. And then let's go ahead and we can. Now, who is out there as PHOEBZZ? Hello. Can you tell me who you are, please? I think you told me that before, and I can't remember. Because I think you've been here before, but I can't remember. The little roses are cute, aren't they? But I just thought that would be fun to make some discs. Remember? Oh, Betty's voting different too. Good. Okay. The set that's missing is cute. It's cute 22-101. That's the number of the set that's missing. And you will get it shipped separately as soon as it arrives here. I'm not happy that they're costing me so much postage, but you do what you got to do because.
Friend is Victoria.
Oh, hello, Victoria. Thank you. Thank you. I know you, Victoria. You've been our customer for quite a while, I think. I just didn't recognize the Phoebe. So thank you. So you guys can actually see that these are reasonably easy to do, very easy as a matter of fact. And when you see these, it gives you a great idea. I mean, you'll just have, it opens up the world to what you can do with these paper strips. When you see that you can actually create something that looks like metal, it's amazing. I can't wait to try those new gilded edge colors. I think they're going to be beautiful. Maybe we should do something with those. Don't know if there's one that's the right color to do with our roses, but maybe there is. You guys can see we're well on the way to putting that together. I do want to show you before we move away from these. Let's look at how we did these. earrings. This earring has 3 large, 3 mid-size, a tight coil center, and then a small teardrop. This teardrop was made with 1/4 of a strip. And then the teardrop is what I'm using to attach the earring on. Okay. And once again, I want to credit the artist because I am not the originator of these patterns. She is, and I'll show you right here in the book. There's the earrings. And she's doing a slightly different one with that earring design too. Here's our other earrings we did. I love this, by the way. Now that would be gorgeous with those blue strips that just came in. I'll be doing that later today, I think. There's our necklace. Okay. Gorgeous, gorgeous book. Beautiful. The Art of Quilling Paper by Anne Martin. Okay. I'm going to set this aside temporarily. This is not my best work, but I'm going to show it to you anyway because, you know, just like everybody else, I have to learn, and it was my first design of this style. But here is my branch that's done. I did a big, this is done with the largest size on the Border Buddy. And I turned it into a marquee and then built my branch inside it. So let's use these. Let's try, I think that would be pretty. Let's go for black. I know I'm doing a lot of black today, but I'm just thinking about the color of these roses and what color would be striking on there. Let's go ahead. Let's join a couple of these glossy blacks that we just got in. I think we're going to need, I think we'll put in about, we're going to need at least 2 strips. I'm kind of thinking 3. I'm going to go ahead and join 3 strips to create my disc. And then we'll see if we need all 3. Let's do that. I'd love to do some more quilled jewelry down the road and do some of the patterns out of some of the other books if you guys have interest in that. We have quite a bit. In fact, we just, Brittany and I just started putting the October calendar together, and we have a lot of projects to do. If you guys like that idea of doing a journal to collect your work, to collect copies of what you've done, I'm going to give some thought to that, because if we do that, it would be fun to start the new year with it, wouldn't it? With a journal that we can keep copies of our work, and it'll give us place, you know, with a place to write notes, maybe 1 page per project, and just kind of keep a log of what we've been making. I think that would be great fun to look back on over time and actually just be reminded of some of the beautiful things we've created. One of the things that made me think about that is I started thinking about the amount of different projects, the total number of projects that we've done together since we started meeting online. It's remarkable. It's remarkable what we've done since we started working together. Now, let's see what I do with my quilling tool. There it goes. Okay, I'm just going to start quilling this. It would be useful, perhaps, to have my, get my quilling guide. Here's one. I think back, I mean, those of you guys who have been here for a long time, think how long ago it was that we did the, remember when we did the card with the chicken soup? Do you remember when we did the chicken soup and the cough drops, and we made that folder and we put all the things to make somebody feel better? Think how long ago that's been. That's a long time since we did that, isn't it? I'm going to try using my curling coach because I want to make a good sized disc. I'm not experienced with this tool particularly. I know what it is, and I know that the idea is to be able to build a larger disc without having it collapse on you. With that said, I don't have an awful lot of experience with it, so we'll see how we do. Yes, those little roses are, in fact, from quilling. They're from the Quilled Creations Little Roses kit. And I wanted to show everybody when I got my hands free, I'll show you what pack those come from. Now, the idea behind this quilling coach is that you can make a larger disc without having that disc kind of collapse in your hands as you're trying to roll it. Because see, we're rolling it all against this background piece. I don't know, we might want this bigger yet.
Good night, Elsie.
Good night, Elsie. I'm thinking maybe we want this to be one bigger. Let's add another strip. I don't know, maybe this will be good. That's beautiful, that black glossy, though, I'll tell you that. That's gorgeous. I don't know. Let's see what it looks like, just one stage bigger. They have some little leaves in their pack, but I think I might want to make my own little rose leaves to go with these. I guess that is just one strip. I kept trying to separate it, and it didn't want to separate because I think it's just one. Now let's see, which is the glossy side, though. This one is. So I'm going to put a little dab of glue on there. I can tell you this quilling coach is really helping me form this big piece because I couldn't do this much. I couldn't get a roll this big without this quilling coach under it. So the little thing that kind of looks like a little man, it does look like a little man to me, and they even gave him little arms, little feet. The quilling coach in your kit is used to get these circles to be bigger. And I can just kind of keep my thumb on the disc as we're making it. I'm going to put a little glue on here. Let that set just a second. I'm going to lift that disc off. Come on. Do be nice now. There we go. Lift that disc off. This is what we just made. I don't know, maybe we want it even a little bit bigger. We might want it a little bit bigger yet. I think I have tinier roses though. Let's see. Let me get my tiniest roses out of this pack. Oh, I also promised to show you what pack this is from. This is the little spiral roses. And let's see if I have the littlest ones out on the table. I'm just going to make a mess and dump little roses everywhere, because why not? It's like me to do that. Yeah, I think that disc needs to be bigger. I think we need one more. See that? Looks like plastic or something, doesn't it? I'm going to add one more. I think I can just wind it on by hand. We'll see whether or not I can pull that off. We'll see whether I can make that happen. So we'll have to remember next time we want 5 strips. I do have a couple pretty little roses though. There's one. And there's one. Those two are pretty little. See if I can find my glossy side of my paper now. That's it. Get back down there. Just going to roll this one on by hand and see if we can pull this off. I think we can. One thing you probably could do that would be kind of an in-between step for preserving this jewelry would be to use a spray sealer on it. Kind of a spray sealer on this jewelry. Got little bits of glue on my fingers here. Oh, don't unwind on me. That's just rude. You could try embossing powder. I haven't tried it. I don't know. I do think a spray sealer would work really well, though. Okay, now we have a little bit bigger flower. The big ones are just too big. Just want to see what it's going to look like if I put a little quill leaf on it. Oh no, we are designing on the fly, guys. I think that could be pretty. Let's get a piece of green here. I think just regular green is fine. Find a piece of green. 2 pieces of green, actually. That looks just about right. Let's wind it up and quill a little leaf. Just a little one. Let it unwind just a little. Just a little, because I want a small leaf. Let's do another one. I don't mind if the leaves hang off a little bit. I think the color's going to be spectacular. Then I'm going to make a little loop at the top to hook my finding onto. You guys are so creative. One thing I think spray sealer would do, or sealing of some other manner, whether that's embossing powder or other things. I'm not sure I would spray the shiny side. I think I would spray it on the back side. And that way you won't take anything away from the, uniqueness of the quilled material, the beautiful metallic side, but by fastening it, or using the spray material on the back, you would kind of protect it from, I'm not sure I love that placement of those. I need a wet wipe. I can't get my glue here because I don't like where I got it, where I put it. I'll put the two leaves together. That's better. Come in closer, huh? Let's make a little fastener for the top. It's gold. I don't want gold. I don't think. Maybe gold would be okay. I think I want my glossy. Did I ever tell you, Annette, that what I did when I was in my early 20s was I made wedding flowers and flower arrangements? I used to make them from scratch from silk. You and I really are an amazing amount alike. My favorite was to make wedding bouquets. I loved making bouquets, and I would make them so that the bottom tail would come off and it would be a bride's corsage before she threw her bouquet. It was pinned in there so that when she would get ready to throw the bouquet, they'd take her piece off so she had something to keep, and then she'd throw the bouquet. Let's see. I did that wrong. I did that wrong. I want to use this because I want to have a little, I'm going to go to my very smallest setting here on my border buddy. If it's crafty, I've probably done it. Although most needlework I will not say I've done. I have tried to do knitting and crochet, and you know that I like knitting with a loom. I can't knit with with knitting needles to save my life. I split my stitches. I get tense, and then my stitches get tighter and tighter and tighter to where you can't get a needle through them. And it starts out wide and gets really skinny. And then I split my stitches and it gets really wide again. It's just not something I should do. I might want to try making this little finding out of something even smaller than that. Let's see if this tool is, the tool's about the same size. Let's just see what we get. Oh, your friend just hasn't met me, Annette, because I split my yarn to something terrible. Okay, I need my little super snippers. I love, love, love these for quilling. In fact, in my latest quilling kits, that's what I'm putting in them. Because you can get way down, right down inside there and snip little pesky bits that annoy you right out. Okay, let's try this. Let that sit for just a minute. See if we can let that dry just a bit. Then I'll hold it up so you can see. In the meantime, let's go ahead and make another 5 coil. Bryce is the crocheter between the two of us. He does beautiful crochet work. I can't wait to show you guys my finished blanket, but he says it's been too hot to work on it because it's large enough now. He kind of has to drape it around him to work on it. And it's been too hot to have a blanket draped on him. My grandma would have loved to have taught me to crochet, but I just couldn't do it. I know truly I can do anything I set my mind to, but I didn't enjoy it either. But I do love loom knitting. In fact, I don't have to make hats this year because I have so many made from last year. What was going on last year? I was feeling tense about that I needed to be doing something all the time. I made so many hats. I don't remember what was going on, but something was that was making me feel tense, and I just loom knitted up a storm. You can look at this, and if you hold it, go back and forth at an angle, you can see whether or not you have the shiny side in the right place. My mom knits and crochets. Mostly knits, though. She likes knitting better than crochet. She's made some beautiful stuff over the years. Mom is doing pretty well. They've got her doing chemo every 3 weeks now, for now and on into the future. And she's feeling good. That's the most important thing. She'd feel better if her hair would ever get a chance to grow back, but it's one of those things that it kind of comes with the chemo territory, doesn't it? So that's the one complaint she has. But she doesn't complain much about anything, does she, Bryce? She just continually says, "Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm pretty lucky." Wow. Great 74 great grandkids, and she made socks, hats, and mittens for each one. Holy cow. Okay, here we go. We're getting our curling buddy out, feeding her strip in, and away we go. Here we go. Making our second disc. "74 great grandkids. That's a bunch." We got this very nice long strip. By the time I get done rolling this, we can take a look at our last piece and see how it's doing. We'll try putting findings on it and just see what it looks like. This one almost looks like one piece was upside down.
Victoria says, tell your mom her hair will start coming back in about a month after the chemo treatments are done.
Right now she's continuing her chemo indefinitely, so I don't know. I'm taking this one out again, guys, because it looks like one of my strips is in there backwards. Now, it wouldn't show very much, but I think one of my strips is backwards because it looked just black instead of glossy. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to find that piece that looks like the culprit. There's that side. That's the right size. That's the right side. That's the right side. Maybe it was all my imagination. No, I think this is the strip right here. Sure enough, I found it. Okay. All right. I'll fix this and re-roll it. I could tell as I rolled it up, it was all glossy and then it wasn't. So, even though I was trying to be careful with keeping the right side up, I just need to make sure now that I didn't glue it backward again. That's the right side. I glued it backward again, but at least I caught it. You gotta give me credit for consistency, guys. Okay. Roll this in a minute. Let's see how this is doing. Let's try and put some findings on this and see what this is going to look like as an earring. I'm going to need I think we'll make it silver. Let's make it silver findings on this black thread. I've got French wires here and some stoppers because I'm always losing French wires when I wear them because I just can't seem to keep them in without losing them. I've got some.
These would make cute little girl toast earrings.
I'm going to make big girl earrings out of them. I guess I have something more shiny. Oh. Back in here again. Really, it's more stainless than bright silver, but I'm going to use it for today. And what did I do with my pliers? My pliers right here. Nope, it's my wire cutters. Where's my pliers? Come on, there. The needle nose. There it goes. think I'm going to need another jump ring in here. Get a more silvery one, a little one. I put it on backwards. Bless my heart. Just as I was squeezing that shut, I thought, I wonder if I got that the right way. And I didn't.
Hi to Karen Williams.
Hi, Karen. Good to see you, friend. How's Gemma doing with her training, Mary R? Is she still here?
I think so.
Okay, come in close, honey. Turned out longer than I expected. But I'm going to show from the side. Maybe I don't want two jump rings in them. Huh. No, it'll show just fine, straight on. I just want to show from the side for me. But there we go. I think it's pretty. I think it'll be really pretty when we get the second one. So let's wind up this piece of paper and see what we can do to get a second one going here. Up. Oh. Oh, Oliver is just a sweet cake. He is so sweet. Okay, let's see if we can get one that's glossy all the way around this time. So I'll teach you everything you don't want to make a mistake with, guys. It said, No other demonstrator on YouTube probably has the number of mistakes I have, but nobody else does as many live streams as I do either. We do it live. You see everything. We could go in and crop and trim everything out if we were inclined to just do videos, but we show everything. Oh, that's getting all way high. That's because he is special, Annette. He is a special little boy. He's got it going, our friend Oliver. Okay. There's our disc. This time it is shiny. See that? There's our disc. Shiny all over. I wouldn't mind having a smaller loop on here. I could maybe do, I'll change that one if I decide to do it differently. I could maybe do, let's do, just try doing one on my curler that doesn't get too big. Let's use about 1/4 of a strip. Leave. I'm just experimenting now, guys. I want to see if I can make that loop on the top of my earring smaller. I don't know that I need to, but yeah, we're good. I'm just going to see if we can possibly make that a little bit smaller. Glue that. Try a different kind of loop here. Okay, one of these big rings again. I just made a tight curl, but as we know, they have a little hole in the middle. I just made a small one, thinking that perhaps we can feed this jump ring through that little hole. I have to really open the jump ring to get it to do that. And let's see what happens. Trying to push my paper out. I might be able to clip off that end. Oh, there we go. We went through. Woohoo! Woohoo! Okay. The silver one. Oh. Stop it. I got it through there and then it got away. Well, I think I'm going to have to close this jump ring instead of trying to combine two steps. I'm going to be fixing momentarily here when we finish up. I'm going to be fixing puttanesca for dinner. I'd like to make puttanesca, and Paul and Tim both like it, so puttanesca it is. Puttanesca for dinner. Well, sometimes, Karen, you just got to kind of get started and start with something really easy, you know? Look for a card that's not going to take much. Now, I think this is going to be better. Oh, I like this better. I'm sure of it. Let's take this one off. I don't have to finish both of these online. I'll just, whoops. Got to fix that now. I tore my outside edge when I took that off. Let's put that back. Back on. Smooth that down. And let's try this. This was done, as you saw, oh, I like this so much better. See, sometimes we just have to experiment to see what we're going to like. I'm going to put this on here. It's going to need just a second to bond, and then I'll show it to you. It's going to have a little glue showing because I put quite a bit. Now it's got glue showing that won't show when it dries. Look there, guys. That's so much better, I think. Come in close, honey, please. Ignore the glue, because I had to put a fair amount to have a coil stick to the top of a coil. So ignore the glue. That's going to be pretty. That's going to be very pretty. And now we know we can actually feed a jump ring through the center of a tight coil. So that's cool. What do you guys think? You like the old way or the new way? If you like the old one, that's okay. Tell me that. If you like the new one, tell me that. Which one do you care for? Anybody gonna vote? Gotta give you time to vote.
So it's new way.
New way? Yeah, I thought the other one was just a little bit long for my taste anyway. This is almost a 1/2 inch shorter. Let's see, now we did something fun and new and different. Okay. All right. I think we're going to have to call it good because we're a little after 4. And let's just take a look at what we've made today. We made these beautiful ones with our shiny papers, our gilded strips. We have seen how this creates a beautiful shiny disc. I love that. That's fun. We started our necklace. We'll show you where we are now. This is how far we got. This is where we're going with it. Let's just take another look at that. So you can see how those kind of glue together. And then I put some shiny little bobbits at the end there, some little crystals, because I just thought that would show it off really nicely. Here's our earrings designs, so you can see those. This is what I was going for with the drop down on the other one, but it just didn't do it for me. But there we go. Okay. Let's talk about what we have coming up on Thursday. I was supposed to be recovering from surgery, so Margie scheduled to do the she's doing a really, 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 really pretty embroidery on paper design. You guys are going to really, really like this one, I think. You need to check that out because these are beautiful. It's one of the newer Find It trading kits. It has a much more contemporary feel and design, and they're just going to be gorgeous. I'm sorry for your loss, Karen. It's very sad. I will think of him on 9/11. But her stitchery class is going to be just really good. I think you'll enjoy that very much. That's coming up on Thursday. I really want you guys to see how these stitch and do classes come together. Last time we used one of the older kits, and I don't think it showed the art of stitchery as much as these new Find It trading kits do. So I'm really anxious for you guys to see what this looks like as Margie is pulling this together. It's what I've seen so far is just stunning. Next Saturday, we start with our, let's see, I have, next Saturday, we're doing bow making. Saturday, is that the 17th?
Yes.
Yeah. Saturday the 17th, we are doing bow making class, and that's always fun. If you have a bow maker and you've been through class, just join us and kind of refresh your skills. You can make up some wonderful samples and be ready to roll. The following Thursday, we are starting our series on foiling. And we'll have a series of 3 classes on foiling. We'll be doing cold foiling, then we'll be doing hot foiling, and we'll be doing foiling with a laminator or what is that machine that Margie has? It was a mink. Using either a laminator or a mink machine, and we'll be doing toner foiling. So, yes, I'm fine. I just lost my train of thought there for a minute. So we've got some really good stuff coming up, and I look forward to sharing that with you. The very next time we'll be back will be on Wednesday for What's New Wednesday. What's New Wednesday is at 5 p.m. Pacific time, which is 8 p.m. East Coast time. And we will we'll be back on Thursday. Oh, with the surgery. I was supposed to have a hysterectomy coming up here. And my doctor and I together, and Bryce, decided that the risk of it, rather than the risk of doing the surgery at my current weight, which adds a lot of risk to the surgery, that it would be better to continue my current weight loss program. So currently, the circumstances that were leading to the hysterectomy are controlled with medication. And so, since it's currently under control, my doctor was supportive of me just continuing to stay on Weight Watchers and see if I can take off quite a bit more weight by spring. If I could do 39 pounds in the first 3 months, which I did, there's no reason I can't be 75 pounds off by the end of the year and 100 pounds off by spring. And he just feels like it would be a much, much safer procedure as long as the circumstances are controlled with meds. If something happens and they don't, that doesn't prove to be true, then I'll have to have it now. But it was planned for the middle of September. And then I went into his office and said, I'm really pleased with the weight loss. What do you think about? And he said, I was trying to figure out a way to suggest that to you, but I was afraid that would be offensive. So he said, I'm so glad you brought it up. So, yeah, and that makes all of my doctors quite happy that the weight is coming off as well as it is. So that's why I was supposed to be recovering for a couple weeks here, and I recruited Margie to do some of my classes, and then I'm here and Margie's still doing classes, so that's a good thing. So there we go. I think that's it for tonight, unless anybody has any questions, comments, or pearls of wisdom. Anybody got any questions about anything? We'll be here Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific. Thursday, 5 p.m., 4 p.m. Pacific. Boy, I can't talk. It's time to stop when I get to where I can't talk. So Wednesday, 5 p.m., Thursday, 4 p.m., and next Saturday, 2 p.m. And I will look forward to having you here with us. I always love our time together. And there we go. Okay. Thank you, Roberta. Okay. Well, in the absence of questions, comments, or pearls of wisdom, I'm just going to say good. Oh, which did I tell you which kit's missing? Yes, it's the cute. It's cute 22-101. It's the luxury cute Christmas set for 22 that's missing, but you will get it automatically as soon as I get it, and I am on it. It's my first priority come Monday to get a hold of them and say, I need this now. Okay? All righty. Good night, Gracie.